guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm kind of just gonna dive in because I know that my pet peeve when I'm watching a tutorial is someone that talks too much. I'm always kind of just like, shut up bitch, and I fast forward it to when they're doing makeup because that's what I really want to see when I'm watching a tutorial. I really don't care to hear someone talk. So I am gonna try and not talk too much and just kind of dive into the makeup. So for today I was like really feeling like Latin Mami in Miami type of vibe. Like that's the kind of makeup that I wanted to do. So for that I decided that I would use my my big ass Morphe palette. This one is the 3502. I hope that's what it is, and I hope it's not like 352. But yeah, so I'm gonna use this guy right here. It has like the prettiest neutral palette, the prettiest neutral shades, and the lip that I'm gonna be using for this is Coral Crush. So I thought it would be like a perfect combination. So yeah, let's dive on in. I'm gonna go in with the little Mario Badescu, I hope that's how you say it, rose water spray. And I'm just kind of gonna spritz it. Try to keep your mouth closed because this one does taste like roses and alcohol. Ugh. So then after that, I'm gonna use my little 24-hour extended eye base by MAC. Basically, it's just an eye primer. I like this one because it has no color, but I feel like it kind of just smooths over my eyelids because it has like a little silica slip to it. And normally I use my finger, but because I'm filming, I want to be a little more fancy for you guys. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring it even up to my eyebrow. I feel like with eye primers, you want to make sure that you blend them well, because if you don't, it gets patchy. And when you're doing your eyeshadow, you'll get texture, or like it'll skip in some areas, and then you'll just see like little lines and stuff. Just really make sure you blend that shit right. Okay, so now that we have that situated, now we can dive into the eyeshadow. So the first shade I'm gonna lay down, it's gonna be this little guy in the corner over here. It's a transition shade, just something light to lay down to kind of get the colors blending. I don't know if you guys have ever seen someone that does like a smoky eye and it just looks very rounded. Like a black smoky eye, it just looks like they have black slapped on there. That's because they didn't use a transition shade. Transition shades are like the most important thing to lay, always. So with a fluffy brush, go in and just kind of start laying it down. I'm using MAC 224. Not really, yeah. Okay, now because I want to add a little more depth. I don't want nothing too crazy, but I do want a little more color in the eye. I'm going to go ahead and dip into this orangey shade right here. And this is my Morphe M433. And that I'm just going to kind of focus on the actual, like on my lid and a little above it. I don't know if it's picking it up. So now that I have that laid down, this is super easy peasy. Like I'm telling you guys, the lip is the focus. Like we're not gonna focus on the eyeshadow too much. Now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in with this goldy shade right here. I'm gonna pack that on my lid. And I'm literally pressing down and swiping back. That's how you're gonna get the most pigmentation out of these eyeshadows. It almost makes them like, when you press down and swipe, it gets like a buttery feel to them. They go from powder to butter. It's weird. You know, every eyeshadow is different. You just gotta kind of learn to play with different formulas, and with Morphe shadows I've definitely noticed that they're super buttery, but I just have to press down and swipe back. I love it. So now I can go ahead and focus on my eyebrows. So I did define them a little bit underneath. Now I'm just going to go in and fill it in. This is MAC Lingering. You could really use any brow pencil. I know I used Anastasia Brow Wiz and I loved it. So anything works. Honestly, whatever is within my reach is what I use. If powder is sitting right there and I have a clean brush somewhere, it's going to be powder for the day. It's whatever is within reach. But it's always the same technique. I never fill in my eyebrows from the top. I feel like once I like start carving from the top is when you get that super Instagram carved brow, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not my style. I like more of a softer brow. So what I do is I define the bottom and fill in. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of filling it in. Once I get to the front, I kind of start to almost like mimic hair. And I brush the pencil upwards. I'm missing a little chunk of hair on this side because the lady over threaded, so I always just kind of draw it in. And there you have it. Because I want to be glowy, I'm going to use my Babe in Paradise palette. I'm going to use Vacation, this little guy right here, with that 224 brush. And I am just going to apply it right under my brow bone. I wasn't going to do a wing, but I think I'm going to do it. Just do it. This is just the NYC Liquid Eyeliner. I really do love this eyeliner. It's like $3 and it's bomb as fuck. Okay. So I do my wing differently all the time, but today I'm going to start in the front. And I'm going to bring it down and then out. I did apply a little too much in the front, but I try not to worry about it too much because I am going to apply lashes. I always say that. I feel like lashes are the solution to my problem every time I fuck up on my makeup. Well, that escalated quickly. This wing is a lot thicker than I would normally do my wing, but I mean, it's gonna have to do. It happens to all of us, even those of us who do this for a fucking living. So yeah, now that I got my giant wings on, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my eyelashes. Anytime I put on eyelashes, I always like to put on mascara. Just lightly coat them, so that when I put the falsies on, it kind of blends. I would hate for my lash to look straight and then I have like a bomb ass pair of falsies on. And I'm actually going to be trying on some new eyelashes. I've never used these. These are the Allure Cosmetics, and it's the Luxe, and they look like this. They're really pretty. They're supposed to be kind of like faux mink. You know, because a bitch can't afford mink right now, so these are gonna have to do. No, but honestly, these are really pretty, and they're like $12 at Ulta. And I bought one, and I got one half off, so I feel pretty fucking great about it. I feel like these are very subtle, but that's cool, because I went kind of crazy with the wing, so if I had on really intense lashes, that might be a bit much. Alright. Now I got both eyelashes on, so I can go ahead and move on to my foundation. I just recently bought the new Nars foundation. I don't know, I think it's like the Radiant Light, something like that. I don't even know the name, you see? And I use the shade Barcelona, but I'm pretty obsessed with this foundation. The only thing I will say is it can get cakey very, very quickly. So I literally tried to do one pump for my full face because I really do think you can get full coverage out of it like that. So I'm going to be using my Morphe G6 brush. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes, and I'm literally just buffing it in. So I recently picked up the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm really fucking trying to figure out why I didn't have it before, because it is the best concealer I've ever tried. I will say it can get super cakey really quick. So I literally just do like dabs, like, you'll see. I might have already got a little too excited. And I'm using the shade Medium. It's like a yellowy undertone for sure. But yeah, with the pointed part of my beauty blender, I'm just blending it in. And I'm bringing it down. Now, I know I look really ghostly and washed out right now, but I'm going to go in with bronzer, and that's all going to change, like, instantly. To set my under eye, I use the Born This Way loose powder. I love this stuff. I'm just going to go in and bake underneath. I use a little bit, like just the very little tip, and I'm going to go and use that for both sides. So I really kind of just press it in. Instead of like letting it sit on top, I like to press it in, and then whatever didn't set is what I dust off with a powder brush. Now, for the contour. I have oily skin, so, you know, sometimes I will do a cream contour, but for the most part I do a powder. And I'm going to use Shadester by MAC. You could really use any brown contour. If you have the Anastasia's, whatever, use it. I have a fluffy Sonia Kashuk brush that I've had for a really long time. I got in some old holiday set, and I'm gonna go in and basically carve out my cheek. When I look straight, it's casting a shadow, so I'm looking snatched. I'm looking thinner. I'm starting to get the warmth back, which is what I wanted. And for blush, yeah, I'm gonna use this guy. I'm gonna use this little peachy shade over here. It was part of the Jaclyn Hill Becca blush highlighter palette, but it's just some kind of peachy shade, and I'm gonna use that. I guess I'm gonna smile because you have bronzers already in this area, and we're gonna add a highlighter up here. You really just want to focus the blush on the apples of your cheeks and kind of blend it into your bronzer. You don't want to mix it all together to where it gets muddy, but you're just gonna kind of merge them. So I'm smiling and placing. Okay, so now for my highlighter, I'm gonna use the Babe in Paradise palette because I just got it, so why the fuck not. It already came with a brush, so it's a fan brush. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of fan brushes, but I'm gonna see how I like it. I don't know if you guys have ever applied highlighter on in this area after you've baked and it just doesn't stick. Well, the trick to that is to spraying some kind of setting mist. So I'm going to spray Fix Plus. And I'm just kind of going to let it dry for a second. And now that the skin is like nice and moist and it has that glycerin that's going to help it stick, the highlighter should really pop. And I really liked this one, Get Laid. So I'm going to try that bad boy. Oh, shit. And a lot comes up when you put the brush on there. Oh, shit. Added mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm going to go back with that same little gold. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to go in with the highlighting palette because I like to get the most use out of my palettes. If I'm going to get 6 highlighters, all 6 of those highlighters are going to end up being used somehow. I'm not about to just use one. So I'm going to go ahead and use Vacation, the one I had used under my brow bone, in the inner corner of my eyes. I'm grabbing my little Morphe M433, the same one I used earlier. And with just the corner of it, I'm going to pop that in the inner corner. Now that I got the inner corner highlight, I can go in and do my lip. This is Coral Crush by Dose of Colors. I just got it. It's an old shade, but I've been wanting it forever and I just hadn't bought it. When I do liquid lipstick, I don't care to line, but that's just my personal preference, you know, do you. I already love it. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I made it fairly easy. That's the whole point of my tutorials. I try to break it down to where people are really learning. It's not so much about the product, but the technique. Because, you know, I could be using dollar store makeup and I could really make it work. Because it's all in how you apply it, not in what you got. I will be making more tutorials, so if you did truly enjoy it, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. See you guys next time.